Being considered the best football players of all time, Brazilian Pele and Argentinian Maradona are two of the sport's greatest legends who divide opinions on who was the best. But have you ever stopped to think about which one of them has the best expertise in each skill? In this video, you will watch a super tight battle between Pele and Maradona. So let's get to the fight! Dribble. Both football icons are known worldwide for their exceptional skills. But which one has excelled most at dribbling? Diego Maradona, for example, was one of the most iconic dribblers in football history, able to dribble past several opponents in succession, leaving them behind. He was also a specialist in short dribbles, using agile and precise foot movements to dribble past opponents in tight spaces with unquestionable technical quality. His ability to dribble easily made him a constant target for opposing players who, unable to keep up with his talent, would commit hard fouls to try and stop him. His dribbling skills were so exceptional that he became one of the most admired players of his generation. Pele is considered one of the greatest dribblers in history, and he pioneered the creation of many dribbles. One of Pele's most iconic dribbles was the nutmeg, in which he would pass the ball between the opponent's legs, a very effective move to get rid of the markers and to show his ability. Another dribbling technique often used by Pele was the fake shot, a dribbling technique in which he would pretend to kick the ball toward the goal, but at the last moment he would change direction with the ball, thus fooling the defenders. Pele's repertoire of dribbles was enormous, with moves that combined technique and agility to overcome his opponents. And although both players were great dribblers, Pele is a reference in this skill. Speed. The two stars of football history were both very fast and agile players, but which of them achieved greater speed on the pitch? Pele, for example, was an incredibly skillful and agile player on the pitch, but he stood out more for his technical ability and vision than for his speed. Although he was an exceptional athlete, there are no official records of the maximum speed he achieved. Diego Maradona, on the other hand, was known for his acceleration and speed with balls at his feet, which made him difficult to mark. His agility combined with his ball control and technical skills made him an extremely dangerous player and feared by opponents. And although there is no record of the maximum speed he achieved during his career either, Diego Maradona is widely regarded as the faster of the two players. Score one for him. Assistance. Both football legends are known for being extremely skillful and creative players, but which one of them had the best assisting ability? Maradona, for example, possessed exceptional vision and a refined passing technique, which enabled him to provide good assists for teammates. His ability to anticipate the movements of his teammates and identify gaps in opposition defenses made him a master of creating chances. Throughout his career, he is estimated to have made around 240 assists in 679 official matches, averaging 0.35 assists per game. Pele, on the other hand, stands out much more in this aspect. He was known for his ability to create plays and incredible passes that resulted in goals for his teammates. Throughout his career, Pele made a total of 362 assists in 825 official games, which means he averaged 0.44 assists per game, an impressive number of assists, especially considering that he was a striker and that his main goal was to score goals. In other words, we can say that Pele possessed the best ability to give assists. Resistance. In terms of endurance, both were references in their generations. But who had the best physical capacity to withstand playing for long periods? Diego Maradona, for example. Although he was an excellent player in terms of endurance, players did not need to be so physically fit compared to today. That's because, in his time, a player covered an average of around 4.97 miles per game. On the other hand, in Pele's time, football was even less evolved. Although he also had good physical endurance, this was not the main physical characteristic demanded by the players on the field. In his time, the players covered an even shorter distance, with an average of only 2.48 miles per game. In other words, we can say that based on the evolution of physical capacity in football, Diego Maradona has the advantage in this ability. Pass. Both football celebrities were considered exceptional players with impressive technical skills. But which one had the best passing ability? Pele, for example, was a complete player who had an incredible ability to make accurate passes. The Brazilian was particularly adept at short and medium passes, often using his keen technique to dribble past opponents and create chances for his teammates. In addition, he was also capable of making long, accurate passes, especially in counter-attacking situations. His ability to pass the ball with precision in pressure situations is also impressive, which made him a valuable player at decisive moments. Diego Maradona was no stranger to the game. He was excellent at making precise and very creative passes, possessing a good vision for the game which allowed him to find teammates in advantageous positions. One of Maradona's most common passes was the heel pass, which showed his creativity and ability to trick his opponents. Maradona also had other types of passes, such as the letter pass, where he would pass the ball with his back foot, crossing his leg behind his supporting leg. In FIFA 21, for example, Maradona has a pass score of 93, while Pele also has a pass score of 93. In short, both players were exceptional in this skill, and it was very hard to determine which of the two was the best. In other words, this round is a draw. Strength. When it comes to physical strength, the two players present significant differences in their physical characteristics and their styles of play. Pele, for example, was lighter and shorter, with a height of 5 feet 8 inches and a weight of approximately 154 pounds, which put the Brazilian at a disadvantage in physical disputes against taller and heavier defenders. However, he was able to compensate for this lack of physical strength with his refined and very impressive technical ability. Even when facing tough marking from opposing defenders, Pele was able to overcome it with ease and score goals with great frequency. On the other hand, Diego Maradona stands out more in this respect. He was well known for his robustness, even though he was short in stature. Maradona had a more imposing physical structure, with greater muscle mass, which gave him more strength and the ability to withstand physical contact from opposing defenders. Therefore, if we evaluate only brute physical strength, Diego Maradona would probably be considered stronger. Shots and goals. Everyone knows that the two greatest football geniuses in history scored many goals in their careers, but which one of them had the best finishing and goal-scoring ability? Diego Maradona, for example, was one of the greatest scorers in football history, showing an impressive ability to score goals in a variety of situations. With incredible ball control, he dribbled with ease around his opponents, leaving them behind and finding spaces to finish with accuracy. Maradona also had great accuracy and power in his shots, being able to fire powerful, accurate shots from long distances. Throughout his career, Maradona is estimated to have scored some 346 goals in 679 games, averaging 0.5 goals per game. Pele, on the other hand, is considered one of the best strikers of all time. Although there are controversies about the number of goals scored by the Brazilian, considering only the official games, FIFA counts 762 goals in 825 matches, with an impressive conversion of 0.93 goals per game. He had an excellent kicking technique, both with his right and left foot, and was able to score goals from any angle and distance. Pele also had an excellent ability to anticipate and position himself in the box, which allowed him to always be in the right place at the right time to score. And because Pele had a much higher conversion rate, he wins this round. Awards. The two masters of football have won many awards in their careers, but which one of them has been the most successful player? Pele, for example, was one of the most awarded athletes in history, starting with the Ballon d'Or, although at the time only European players competed. In 2015, a revision of the list of winners was made using the current rules, which put Pele being awarded 7 Ballon d'Or. Playing for the clubs he played for, the Brazilian won 2 CONMEBOL Libertadores and 2 Intercontinental Cups. In World Cups, Pele is by far the most awarded player in history, having won 3 World Cups for Brazil. Maradona, on the other hand, did not win as many awards. Starting with the Ballon d'Or, after also reviewing the list of winners, Maradona was left with 2 gold balls, which is 5 less than his opponent. Playing for the clubs he played for, Maradona won 1 UEFA Europa League and several national titles. As for the Argentinian national team, Diego became an Argentina idol after winning the 1986 World Cup. And although both are award-winning players, Pele has more important achievements than his opponent. Market value. The two biggest stars in football history have both been coveted by various clubs, but which of them has been deemed the most valuable player? Diego Maradona, for example, was the first player to set the world transfer record twice, when he went to Barcelona for £5 million, and in 1984 when he went to Napoli for £6.9 million. As for his salary, Maradona was considered the highest paid footballer of his generation, receiving a salary of around $10 million per season. But some sources estimate that if he had lived at his peak today, his income would be much higher. Pele, on the other hand, also made a lot of money. During the peak of his career in 1962, he was also considered the best paid athlete of his time, with a contract that was around $2 million per year, a much lower amount than the players receive nowadays since football has grown a lot in the last decades. But according to some estimates, if Pele played nowadays, his salary would be the highest in the world, an estimated amount of approximately $223 million per year. And because it is very difficult to compare the market value of players from such different eras, we will consider this round a draw. At the end of this battle, we had 5 points for Diego Maradona against 6 points for Pele, and he won this battle. But if you believe that there are still other arguments to defend one of the two, write down here your best justification.